Well, you should have let me go. Could have saved yourself some trouble. You don't know it yet, but you're working for me.
There are 9 of us with the Denver Police Department. Or there were until last night. Now there are 8. The chief, 5 officers, and 2 detectives. One of them's George Romack, the fellow who stopped the prisoner from getting away last night. I'm the other one, named Smith.
Smitty.
Hi, Laura.
I just heard about Barney Hennessy. How'd it happen?
Oh, he's bringing in a prisoner, a couple of men laying for him.
Who did it?
We don't know yet.
Smitty? How's Barney's wife taking it?
She's holding up. It's going to be tough for her and the kid.
Smitty, I'd like to...
Now, Laura, you don't have to do that.
Give it to her. But don't say nothing about me. She might get the wrong idea.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah?
What'd you find?
Stayed at the Denver house the night before last. No names on the register.
How about the horses?
Stole them from a ranch up on Cherry Creek. Found the saddlebags. Not much here. Get anything out of him?
He keeps saying he doesn't know anything about him.
Let's see what I've got in my book. Gary.
See what he has to say about this.
Go through this, Callan.
So, you got no idea who those 2 men were?
I told you, could have been a couple of friends of mine. I got lots of friends.
But they were with you when you took that bank at Cheyenne last month. Those 2 and 5 others.
Well, what gives you that idea?
This.
Well, Alfie. So you've been keeping a history on me.
That's right, Gary. Keep a history on every lawbreaker. Never know when it'll come in handy. Like now.
Well, we'll see how this stuff's going to do you any good.
I'll tell you how. Says there were 8 men in that express office holed up in Laramie. And 8 men took that UP payroll last fall in Ogallala. Now, we've got those 2 in the morgue. We've got you here. That leaves 5, doesn't it?
Sure is good at arithmetic, ain't he?
Who are they, Garrity?
Answer him.
Why?
I'll take care of this, Smitty.
Smitty? Is this the great Whispering Smith?
Yeah. You're gonna get to know him a lot better before you're through.
Whispering Smith? Him? Well, sonny, you ain't took to shaving, have you?
Tried it a couple of times.
Right. I want to know about those 2 men. I want to know who they were and how they knew you were out in Tennessee. There are some other things I want to know, too.
How much do you get, George? George.
I'm counting.
Laura.
How's Richards doing with Gary?
Not too good. You talked to him last night, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to him.
You tell him he's gonna hang?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think about that?
He ain't worried.
I wonder why. Say, you got no idea.
No, I got no ideas why.
Something wrong with you.
No.
Something's chewing on you. You can tell me.
Smitty, there's nothing eating on me.
All right.
$314.38. Barney's laid out in his coffin, and we squared with $314.38. And it'll be 2 years tomorrow.
How's that?
That's how long they've been married. Just 2 months to the day longer than Edie and me.
George, what does Edie think about all this?
I told her not to think. If she marries me, this is the kind of deal she'll get.
George Romack, I'm tired of this. Whatever it is, you better get it off your chest. Come home. Slam the door. Eat dinner without even saying hello.
Edie, I told you I've had a hard
I
day.
had a hard day, too. How do you think I felt spending all day with Nora Hennessy? Telling myself there, but for the grace of God.
Edie, will you shut up?
It's true, isn't it? It could have been you just as easy as Barney. I come home needing you like everything. And the first thing you've got to say is, pack up and go see your mother in Cincinnati. To tell me that now
When what?
when I need you right now more than ever.
Edie, you can stay here for the rest of your life if you want. I told you it was just a suggestion. Edie. I love you so much it hurts. Edie.
George.
I'll get it.
Good evening, George.
Well, it's kind of like this, as near as I can remember. Of course, I didn't make a study of the guy, you understand.
How long before the shooting did he come into the saloon?
Well, it was about 5 minutes.
He drink alone?
Yeah, at first. Then he moved down the bar to these two fellas. They talked for a couple of minutes. Scarface must have tipped him off Hennessy was riding in.
Have you seen Scarface since the shooting?
No, not a sign of him. Of course, like I told George this morning, there was so much excitement after the shooting and everything.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
George.
George Romack. He stopped in the saloon this morning. I told him about Scarface. Didn't he tell you, fellas? These guys keeping secrets? Yeah, he stopped in to collect for Mrs. Hennessy.
Sure.
Oh, that reminds me. You fellas will be going to the wake. Would you give her these?
Expect she can use them.
Yeah. Well, night.
Night, Gordon. Before he went home, I asked him if he had anything to report.
Probably slipped his mind, Chief.
Why are you trying to defend him?
Defend him? What's he done?
I don't know. I wish I did. I wish I knew what he did for a living before he ended up in my department on your say-so.
Nothing wrong with George Romack. Got a wife? Baby coming? Just thinking how I could be his wake tonight instead of Barney's.
If he lets that stand in his way, he's got no business on the force.
Chief, how many kids have you got?
I don't know, Smitty. I don't know what they talked about. George sent me out of the room.
What happened after the fellow left?
George sat in here by himself for a long time. Didn't want to talk. Sometimes he gets that way, and I've learned just to let him be. Then, well, after a spell, he came into the kitchen. Said he thought he'd go over to Hennessy's wake.
How long ago was that?
A couple of hours. I'm worried about him, Smitty.
I am, too. He never showed up at Hennessy's.
but it wasn't my fault, Mr. Smith. He went behind the bar and got the bottle himself.
George,
Go away, will you?
come on, let's go.
Oh, gee whiz, I can't.
I don't know anyhow. What do you want to do this for, Smitty? Smitty. Come on, Smitty, leave me.
Need some coffee, Corky.
That's enough. I should have told you this when you got me the job. His name's Duggan. I rode with him and Garrity once down in Texas.
That was 5 years ago.
How'd you know?
I know. I knew before you were hired.
And you didn't tell Richards? Why?
I had a feeling about you. Hunch, maybe. I figured you decided to leave Texas behind you. Was I right? Then let's forget it. What did Duggan have in mind?
Well, I'm in charge tomorrow night, and they want me to turn Garrity loose. Offered me $1,500 in gold.
What'd you tell him?
I told him if he ever showed his face around there again, I'd break him in half. But I was bluffing, and he knew it.
Bluffing?
Well, I'm afraid for Edie. I tried to get her out of town, but she won't hear of it. I don't know. If it was only me, I'd spit in her eye, but Smitty, you know she's expecting. And if anything happened to her, anything happened to Edie, I don't know.
Well, what's the answer? Drink yourself to death?
No, I'll quit the department. I'm off the force. They got no use for me, right? They'll leave us alone.
Mr. Smith, he just come in. The guy with the scar.
I'm gonna tell that.
Hold it. Sit down. Go in there and hold him at the bar as long as you can.
All right. What are you going to do?
Never mind. Get going. I wonder what would happen if we played along with him.
You loco or something?
Maybe. But supposing you turned Garrity loose. I wonder where he'd go.
Why, he'd ride back to his boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have a lot of excitement, social life, too. For instance, we have a very, very nice wake going on tonight, if you're interested in that sort of a thing.
I don't remember inviting you to drink with me.
You thought it over?
Yeah, and I can't do it. I'm working for John Richards. I don't like him much, but he pays me $80 a month, so I do what he says.
Thought I'd find you here.
Go away, Smitty.
Get up.
I said go away.
You know what Richard said the last time you got drunk on duty?
I'm not drunk.
You keep out of this. You go out back and soak your head under that pump and report to the office in 10 minutes. You got that?
Get out of here.
You get yourself fired, you're no good to us, George. Got a wife to take care of now. Baby coming too, I hear. Might be you could use some money. How about it? You'll never get nowheres at $80 a month.
All right. Tell your friends I changed my mind.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me about this before?
You'd have fired him.
You know what you're putting in Romack's hands? Your reputation, my reputation, the whole department's.
I told you I'd trust him.
How do you know you can?
Got a feeling.
Feeling. You and your feelings.
Hi. $500. Get the rest when I deliver them to Duggan.
What time is that?
Between midnight and 1 o'clock. Duggan's going to have a couple of horses at the Cherry Creek Bridge.
Where are they taking him?
Won't say. Wherever it is, though, they're going to make it about sunup. He did say that.
Garrity's bad leg. He'll have to walk his horse. Man could trail him on foot.
Duggan doesn't suspect anything.
No, only that you might fire me before I can do him any good.
No, you're not going to get fired, George. But if this thing doesn't work out, I'm going to be the first police chief in history to get lynched, and you two are going to be right alongside me.
Well, I'll see you in about an hour.
Where you going now?
Come kiss Edie goodbye. Finally talked her into visiting her mom. Edie. Edie, hon, where are you? Edie? Edie? Where are you, hon?
She's gone, George.
Where is she?
Oh, now, don't worry. We'll take good care of her. Garrity ain't much of a one for taking chances. We just want to be sure whose side you're playing on.
Want to get done with her.
Hold it. That's far enough.
You won't pull that trigger. I'm no good to you dead, Duggan.
Where is she? Tell me where she is. What have you done with her? Tell me, Duggan. Now, what do you think, Smitty?
They probably headed south. Otherwise, there'd be no sense in meeting at the Cherry Creek Bridge.
South of our area. Dry Creek Dickens.
No. 4 hours at a walk could take you past there. Down around Plum Creek, I'd say. Somewhere along there.
They got Edie.
Where?
Tell him, Duggan. I said tell him, Duggan.
Plum Creek Church. There'll be 4 of them footed up down there. We'll need more men.
No. You ride in there with an army, they'll kill her. George and I take Duggan here in Garrity. We might be able to make a deal with them.
Funny, I was always told that women folks started jabbering like Polly Parrots when they were scared. Maybe you just ain't scared. Hey, Chief. 4 riders moving up outside. Well, that's just 2 too many. You expecting company, honey?
This is close enough. You know what to tell them. Mrs. Romack's delivered to us safe. We'll turn Garrity loose.
Suppose you don't.
I wouldn't suppose if I was you, Duggan. And another thing, if she's hurt in any way, you're going to lose the rest of that skin. That goes for anyone else that lays a hand on her. You tell them that.
Smith and Romack and who else?
Nobody.
You mean they came here alone?
Look, I told you. There's only the 2 of them in Garrity. Send him the woman and they turn him loose.
How do we know?
You don't. You take their word for it.
Not me. Fallon. Go up in the belfry and holler over to him. Tell them we bring the girl, they fetch Garrity. We'll meet them halfway. Sure worked you over, didn't he?
Shut up.
Is he dead?
Might as well be for all the good he's going to do us now.
Smith! Romack! We'll meet you halfway. You bring Garrity, we bring the woman. You hear? Don't come without him.
You hear that? We show up without him, they'll kill Edie.
Come on, give me a hand.
Any sign of him?
Nothing yet.
What's keeping them?
Here they come.
All right, lady. Let's go.
Easy, George. Slow.
Duggan?
Yeah?
You sure that's Garrity?
Why?
Well, that leg of his cured up awful fast. He couldn't stand on it the other night.
Slow.
Kiefer!
I think they're on us.
Hold up!
Now.
Any ideas, Smitty?
Entertain them, George. I want to have a look around.
Okay.
We dropped Edie off at her home, and George and I took the prisoners in. I knew there'd never be any question about George's past again. He'd more than lived it down. He proved it by living up to his job on the force. It sure pays to have a little faith in a man, especially when that man is your friend.